Hello, Lego fans, and welcome into a brand new episode of the Brick Hour podcast. I am your host, JJ, otherwise known as Langster Builds on Instagram. With me, as always, my wonderful co-host, Cam, otherwise known as Cameron Studios.
How's it going?
And with us for this week's episode, two of our good friends. Please welcome back from Sakuga Builds, Mathoozala and DanieLewa.
Thanks so much, Langster Builds. I apologize. I couldn't even sleep last night because I was so excited. I couldn't sleep till 5 a.m. because I got brick hour. I got brick hour. I got to get on the brick hour.
We've been counting down the days so we could get back on here, so thank you.
And I bet the rest of you have too, considering part one of this is on the Sakuga channel, talking about 25 best Pokemon that we can see in Lego form. And this episode's going to be all about what we think and what we expect realistically we will see from Lego Pokemon. But before we get to that, Cam, what are we building?
We actually didn't build anything this week.
You
I actually
didn't.
bought some stuff. So I really enjoyed the Giraffe 3-in-1 and I wanted to do the alternate builds, but didn't want to buy a whole nother set just because there's so many wasted pieces. But actually, over the weekend, I went to Bricks Rock, one of our local secondhand Lego stores. I was able to grab the lion and its little side build for only 20 bucks. So I'd rather spend 20 bucks instead of 65 and a bunch of extra pieces. So this is really good for me. It's going to go right on my animal shelf after today's episode. And I also bought the Lego Shark, who actually holds an entire minifigure, which I
Damn.
think is pretty fun. I've wanted this for a long time. I remember it came out in a pirate ship set and I didn't get it, but I've always wanted the shark. I just thought it was so cool to have a minifigure actually fit into a shark. So that's all I've built this week. Very light outside of the mocks I'm working on, which are a work in progress. We will see them hopefully soon enough. I'm probably making a big Bricklink order tonight or tomorrow. So that's all I'm building. DanieLewa, what are we building over there?
Well, I hate Lego for doing this to me. I could not have cared less for F1 in my life. And now Lego's like, look at all these things. We got like the 10 Bionicle colored for F1s coming out. And I'm like, oh, awesome. So not only do I have one, I have 8 of these guys now.
Oh,
They are
Isn't
amazing builds. I love them. And I've watched a lot of F1 racing since then.
aren't there like 12 cars?
27.
There
No,
are
I meant
10.
in that Lego released.
There are
Oh, yeah,
10 that
yeah.
Lego released. I haven't got the last 2. I'm gonna wait. Matt,
No, you're
Christmas
not.
present, please. A Christmas. That's what I've been building.
Yeah. Have you just gone down the rabbit hole of F1 now and just gotten sucked right in?
I honestly have, yeah. And I'm like, okay, who's my favorite team? Who's my favorite driver? Oh, it's dangerous, man. It's
Oh, yeah.
dangerous.
It very much is.
All right, Methuselah, what about you?
oh, nothing new, no new sets, but I was resurrecting and re-erected a classic of all time, one of the
Ooh.
greatest of all time.
And amputated. Oh
Yeah,
no.
right.
Guys, and that's what I was trying to ask Cameron Studios because this is one of my favorite sets of all time, but the clips on this right hand arm broke over time, so it can't hold the weight of
Oh.
the lion. So his shoulder with the green lion's right there, which is really disappointing. So I was gonna come on here and say, Langster, Cameron Studios, do you guys have little one by one blue clip pieces that you could send me? Because
I
Not that I
honestly
can
might.
send you. I have them on my Voltron, so
they
that's a little
break.
tough.
They're broken
Oh,
over
they did
time. That's
break.
kind of
Wow.
Oh, wow.
it's a little sad, but I guess they couldn't have foresight for that. But that's besides the point because we want to see what Linkster's building.
So I also picked up some stuff from Bricks Rock, local Lego store. The first thing I picked up was this, the original double-decker couch. And Cam is laughing because it's mounted to black plates because it is, of course, going to go into the Bat Cave as a trophy.
Oh my
It's way
gosh.
too funny. And the other thing I picked up that I was not expecting to pick up, but then decided I really wanted to get was this. And this is the Lego DC Superhero Girls Batgirl Batwing.
Hmm.
And it is notable for having a giant net launcher built into the front of it. I got this because I figured, hey, I don't have any Batgirl vehicles for my Batcave. I have Nightwing's bike from the original Arkham Asylum, so I figured, it's $10. I'm gonna pick it up. Why not? So now I've got it. I've also made a ton of progress on the Batcave. The landing pad for the Millennium Falcon,
Bat
sorry, the bat
Falcon.
for the Bat Falcon is now done. So that's great. So now moving on to the wall behind the space shuttle, and that's going to be a whole other thing. But yeah, this thing is very quickly wrapping itself up. You'll probably end up seeing that segment back there will end up being done in the next few weeks too, which will be cool.
Ooh.
And
I
then
didn't
it'll all
realize
just
that.
be
I
packed
didn't.
up.
I didn't realize how huge that Batcave mock was till you posted it on Instagram yesterday.
Oh, it's
It's
getting big.
massive.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
only
like
wide, it's very in depth too.
it's
Like I
deep.
was able to see it this weekend for the first time in a while. He probably triples the size of it since he had it at last year's Brick Universe.
It's pretty insane. Um, but that being said, now that we're done with what are we building, we're gonna get into this week's topic. These two gentlemen are here because they love Pokemon and they are massive Pokemon experts. We were over on their channel. If you have not seen that video, there will be a card in the screen above. You can click that and go watch that quickly. But we're here talking about Lego Pokemon. Specifically, like we said before, what do we legitimately expect from this? Now, a few weeks back, Lego just out of nowhere just announced, oh, hey, by the way, we're doing Pokemon sets now. And we're going to be doing them in 2026. What I think was the most interesting about that was Mattel Brick Shop the same day posted like some random, like, we're making cool stuff. And somebody commented, like, yeah, but are you still doing stuff with Pokemon? Because Lego's like, yeah, we have it now. And Mattel just responded with, as of 2025, Mega Constructs will no longer have Pokemon. So what that means for Mattel and for Mega is a whole other video. Does it mean they're dead? Probably, but at the same time, we're here to talk about what Lego's going to be doing. And I want to pitch this to DanieLewa first. What your first reaction when you saw Lego Pokemon? What did you first think when you saw that?
I immediately messaged Matt. I'm like, okay, it's not April Fool's. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Look at this video. This is absolutely crazy. But I immediately went to minifigures. It's the one thing that Mega just could not do. They did a lot of things really well with the IP, but minifigures is the one area that Lego can actually do better than Mega. And so if they don't do that, that will be the one thing that we all want. Yeah.
It's a stuff like Big Sean said one time, stuff be impossible until it happens. And so when it happens, it seems weird. Like I'm sure Daniel Lewa had a similar experience because he's a massive Zelda fan when the Great Deku Tree was announced. And it's just like, okay, this is a real thing now. Like this, like after decades of being a Zelda fan and a Lego fan simultaneously, it's a thing. And we grew up simultaneously with Pokemon and Lego our entire lives and have enjoyed it into adulthood, teenagehood, everything. So it's so weird to see them finally mash. Oh my gosh. So it's surreal, but being a fall now and being a pessimist, I get a little down sometimes. Okay, let's temper our expectations just a teensy bit.
I
I
think that's a
mean,
good idea, to be
yeah,
honest with you.
I think it's all I feel like hopefully Lego has been listening to the fans lately because like especially with like Mario, like nobody wants a Pokemon set that's similar to Mario. They're hoping for maybe something along the lines of possibly Fortnite, where I could see us getting buildable Pokemon like a decent size like Peely Bones, but also having a minifigure set like the Battle Bus. I feel like Pokemon is one of the rare potential themes that has the capacity to kind of do both within one theme, having minifigures and then buildable Pokemon. Because I don't see us getting many minifigure scale Pokemon. I don't think their Lego's gonna want to. They're gonna spend a lot of money on Pokemon. I feel like, but I don't think they want to go as far as making specialized molds for like Pikachu or Togepi, like any small Pokemon. Like they might be able to make like a minifig scale Rayquaza or something. But for like those smaller Pokemon, I feel like it'll be the same that happened with Mega Bricks, where or Mega Constructs, where we had buildable Pokemon. And I feel like they could do similar scale. So I feel like that's kind of like a good middle of the road expectation.
Well,
Well, you're saying that it wouldn't be minifig scale, but have you played Sword and Shield? Where you literally Dynamax your Pokemon and they become giant Pokemon like this.
Yeah,
If you have a giant Pikachu buildable Pikachu, that could still technically be minifig scale because
fair.
it's the Dynamaxed version. So honestly,
It
it
can,
could
they
work
both
still.
can work, honestly. It all
Yeah.
depends on how the initial start is, like how successful Fortnite was. I feel like Pokemon's going to start small, or they might start bigger because the fact that we know about this 8 months in advance, 7, 9 months in advance. they're gonna have time to build up the hype with it, whether they want to do a whole lot of sets right out of the gate, or similar to Fortnite with only 4 sets and then go from there. There's potential for CMF. The options
Here,
are endless.
here's the thing though, because I was just like you, Camera Studios. I'm like, I want it to be like Fortnite, but I think that we need to realize right here and right now that Lego Fortnite theme may just be a unicorn in as far as Lego themes
He's
go,
It's
because
possible.
he's
these
right.
Yeah.
displays not it hits the figures, the display, not only all that, the price.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And so, of course, we want that replicated again. Sonic is similar where they have some display and mostly minifigure sets, but the price isn't as good as Fortnite's. I'm like, maybe Fortnite raised our expectations a little too high
It's possible.
because as of right now, that's my new favorite Lego theme because it's flawless. We'll see what it does in the future, but I wonder if we have to lower expectations lower than Fortnite because the other video game themes, Animal Crossing, it's not perfect, but it's awesome. Zelda, it's awesome, but not perfect, and Mario.
We don't talk about Mario.
No, and I think the first thing I'm going to say right now, don't expect anything electronic out of Pokemon.
Mm-mm.
I think Lego sees the outrage of people being just mad about Mario not having minifigures yet, and we're going on what, 4 years now
Yep.
almost of no Mario minifigures in sight. Like, enough. We're done. We're sick and tired of the Mario electronic stuff. Give us minifigures. If they do that with Pokemon, they will have a riot on their hands. So there's
Yeah.
no chance they're going to do that. I think, to DanieLewa's point, big buildable Pokemon is what you're going to see.
Mhm.
I would not at all be surprised if we get a big D2C Pikachu scaled similar to the big giant buildable Simba, and then at the same
Mm.
time, there's like a $20 like smaller Pikachu that gets released like maybe a couple months before or after. Because the Pokemon collectors will get them both. They won't care.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to capture the market of the people that want the big one will buy the big one. People who are just like, I'm okay with the little one, they'll just get the small one. I think we'll see that off the bat right away. They're going to do something big with Pikachu almost immediately. Do I think the build is going to be the same as the tail and the little promo thing? No. Wait, that was way too simple. They'll do something way more intricate with that. But that I think my first question is how are they going to do a buildable Pikachu? Because that's where that's obviously your starting point is there, right? Like I don't
Mhm.
think anybody expects anything less than that in this first initial year.
Uh,
So now that
I'll,
makes
I'll,
me. Oh, go ahead.
I'll let Dad respond, but I think of Iron Man first and foremost because he's the mascot of Marvel at the moment, and they make sure they have Iron Man on shelves at all different price brackets and at
Fair.
all different
Yep.
sizes. They got the Iron Man card, the bigger Iron Man, sometimes the giant Hulk busters, and it's like Langster. That's actually a pretty smart hypothesis that they may have. Just over time, they're going to stretch Pikachu as a mascot so thin
Yeah.
across
Mhm.
big. But as far as actually building a big one, I don't know because you guys see these bricker builds and these mocks and stuff where it's just like a
Yeah.
giant freaking Squirtle.
Mhm.
Is that really appealing, DanieLewa? Like, would you literally? I'm sure Lego would do a better job because they're the GOAT. But I don't know if just a giant Pikachu would be all that enticing. I don't know.
People would want that. You look at how
Yeah.
well the new Mario Kart set is detailed. Like that Mario's nearly flawless in how
Yes.
they shaped it. And so
It's
that
incredible.
scale, yeah, that scale lends itself perfectly to being able to get some of the more detailed shapes that a Pokemon would have. So they're for sure going to do the Peely Bone scale Pokemon.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Guarantee.
But Peely Bone and Mario Kart are much more intricate. Pikachu is a big yellow ball. Is that going to be just a bunch of bags of yellow pieces, bro?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
dude, look at Bowser. Like that giant Bowser build had a lot of more round shapes, and it turned out looking really clean in the
It's
end.
one of the cleanest sets, like from translating from video game to physical media. I think Bowser's one of the best sets to do that. Because like if you set Bowser on a table and you go away like 5 feet, 10 feet, you wouldn't know it was Lego. You would think it's like a giant Bowser toy, which it like was a
Mhm.
toy, but still. But I
Yeah.
think what could end up like what I'm thinking about right now is like obviously we're gonna get Pikachu. They're always gonna have Pikachu. I'm trying to figure out if they're just going to go right in from the beginning and go from Gen 1 and then just kind of go on and on, or if they're going to do one set from Gen 1, one set from Gen 3, one set from Gen 5. Like, what route could they potentially take? Because There are those who only know first gen and then grew out of Pokemon, but there's also those who grew up on the newer stuff. It's going to be a hard balance because there's going to be some Lego fans who only know Gen 1, but there's going to be newer Pokemon and Lego fans that only know the newer generation. Like, which way does Lego go?
Okay, let's look at it this way. If we do a kind of a 1-to-1 to Fortnite, they could do this exactly. You have a UCS display 18 plus Charizard. You have a
Oh,
Loot Llama Pikachu that's more kids accessible but still big and build a big build. And then you have the Battle Bus equivalent, which would be a Pokemon Arena, where you
mhm.
have minifigs, a couple minifigs and a couple minifig scale Pokemon. And then it's like, okay, there's your perfect initial wave and lineup. See which of those scales does the best, and then make your decision going from there.
But to answer your question though, Camera Studios, about the generations, I don't know if they need to appeal to Lego fans or do they need to appeal to Pokemon fans? Because a lot of Pokemon fans, they love the original, Gen 1 through 3, 1 through 4. That's real nostalgia right now. But Pokemon fans, there's a lot of modern Pokemon that gain a lot of popularity. Like, I'm sure you
True.
guys know Greninja because
Yeah.
he's in Smash,
Yep.
but he was at one point not too long ago was Japan's most popular Pokemon. And there's Pokemon like Mimikyu that are just, it's newer in Gen 7, but just Pokemon fans go crazy for it. So I think they need to more so focus on, okay, what are the Lego fans gonna have nostalgia for, and like what's the simplest thing to do? They need to focus on what would be dopest for Pokemon fans.
Yeah.
That's what they need to do with Zelda. That's what they need to do with Animal Crossing. What would be dopest for a Zelda fan to have is a $1,000 Hyrule Castle. That's what we
Thank
want.
you. Yes, thank you. No more giant buildable trees. Let's look at these Lego trees.
Oh my
Yes.
God, that's so funny.
So
What's
do
wrong
the
with Lego
dopest thing.
trees?
I think you're onto
Point
something
proven.
there with it. I think the way they're going to take this is they're going to take this the same route they took Transformers. They went straight Generation 1 with Transformers because that is the most popular. What do you do off right out of the gate? You go for the big market. Like you go for the most recognizable and most popular. I wouldn't be surprised if this first wave of sets is Charizard,
Please.
Pikachu, Squirtle, like a lot of this, like the starter Pokemon or like Gyarados, some of the like a big buildable Gyarados would be sweet.
Hmm.
I think they're gonna go with that original, like the public sees this and is like, I know that this is a Pokemon and I can name it.
Yeah.
Because like Optimus Prime was that's the Optimus Prime.
Hmm.
Like Bumblebee was this is the Bumblebee. Like everybody knows that. And now that we're theoretically getting Soundwave, we're getting into the more like well known, but maybe not necessarily to the general public well known. And we'll see how that set does. And I think with this one, they're going to go with what is the surefire bet that's going to sell off the bat. So we can just move, it'll sell well. And then we can start trickling in some other things later on down the line either in minifig sets or buildable stuff. I also wouldn't be surprised if we get a Pokeball in the scale of the Durburger.
Ooh.
I could totally see that being a set coming out.
There you
Ooh.
But
go.
they
Yeah.
just okay, first of all, they need a Peely Bone equivalent. And I mean like something that's more obscure because the Durburger Pinata and Battle Bus are all the shoe-ins, absolute duh. And Peely Bone was like, that is a wild creative choice. Can't they at least put in this first wave one not
Maybe out there thing. They could.
like a teensy bit? Like it could still
It
be
could be. It could be. Crap. That Pokemon you said Greninja, right? No.
Greninja would be cool.
Yeah,
Like even
Greninja.
that, it's like I don't know. But the thing is Transformers has no minifigures. The thing with
True.
doing a buildable Pokeball and a buildable Gyarados, in just recent years, we just had buildable Gyarados and Machamps and Pokeballs and Pokemon centers just recently
Mhm.
with the
Mega
Mega
Constructs.
Blocks.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
And
Yeah.
I think the reason those sets didn't sell well is because it's Mega, it's not Lego. And there are some people who are just like, okay, it's here. Not saying they're bad, because a lot of those builds were fairly impressive.
I can attest to that. I bought a
I
lot of the Mega
I
Constructs.
just personally think that the Mega brand killed that line. And I think the minute their licensing contract with Mega ran out, they bailed and went for Lego immediately.
Oh, sure.
I would not be surprised if the Pokemon Company called Lego to figure this out. I
That's
would not at all be shocked. I feel like that's what happened.
that's what DanieLewa was telling me because what the Mega Pokeball, what's going to differentiate Lego's Pokeball so much from
People,
Mega's Pokeball? Like,
Mm,
the
of
fact that
course,
people know it exists. That's really what it
well,
is.
I had the Mega Constructs Pokeball, and it was actually a fun build, not that repetitive. The one thing that they had that Lego didn't, they had like this cool button on it for it to turn on with like lights, either stay on for a long time, do like a constant flashing. So like they never had any sound bricks, so maybe Lego can do that to try and kind of differentiate. Like imagine like a giant Pikachu with a sound box in it, like the Sorting Hat from Harry Potter. And it just has a
Cool.
bunch of different Pikachu lines, like his attack mode, his sweet mode, and stuff like that. It's really going to be interesting what Lego can do that's differentiates themselves enough from Mega because as much as I'm a Lego loyalist, I did buy a lot of those Mega Block sets because I liked Pokemon, and they were actually pretty decent builds. And the main thing that I'm curious to see what Lego does is Mega Bloks was not afraid to do specialized printing and molding for every single set. And like Cyndaquil had his own special head, Totodile, Charizard had a specialized mold head. Like all these Pokemon had specifically molded pieces that will probably never be used again within Mega Constructs. More than ever because they don't have the license. But I never saw them using that Totodile head mold again.
Yeah, Lego though feels so notoriously stingy for new prints, new molds for things. So
Mhm.
I feel like they will probably want to focus on making things that don't require many new molds, which is why
Mhm.
I think if they focus on large, like minifig scale Pokemon that are large, so
Yes.
Lugia, that doesn't need
Yeah.
any necessarily special molds, maybe what, stickers for the eyes, or Rayquaza, or what's another good one?
Gyarados.
Gyarados, but other ones that Mega hasn't done that are like Dialga, Palkia, that could be minifig scale,
Yeah.
Yeah.
buildable without their own molds and prints. I think that's where they could really shine.
And I think the difference between Lego and Mega is one, and I don't mean this as a joke or anything. People will legitimately know that these sets are out there. Because realistically, who pays attention to Mega Blocks? No one.
oh,
Like Target has a whole
Shots
aisle of
fired.
just Lego sets, and then there's the aisle right next to it that's got the Mega Blocks that everybody bypasses to get to the Lego aisle because that's where all the good stuff is.
Yeah.
you're right.
It's not it's right. It's mean. I'm out of line, but I'm not wrong. Um, and I think that Lego doesn't need to worry about what Mega's already done because they can just do it again and do it better. That's their mindset they have. I think to on the flip side of the whole, oh, they're gonna like, what about not using specialized parts? I think Lego's designers are much more capable of finding unique ways to use parts they already have
Hmm.
to be able to get some of those shapings correct without having to necessarily mold parts, new parts like Mega did. Because I feel like Mega probably shot themselves in the foot having to mold so many different and unique parts that only got used in one set once ever and never again.
Right.
And maybe if we're talking about like portioning out, where do these new molds go to? Do we want them to be for new minifig components? Do we want them to be for new Pokemon components? Like, I don't know. What would you guys want to
Yeah.
prioritize with this?
I have a question though, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Cameron Studios, but I've never purchased a Nintendo Lego set that has a sticker on it. All Animal Crossing is straight up printed,
Ooh.
all because, and same with the Zelda, because I'm just my hypothesis is that Nintendo doesn't want their IPs misconstrued in any sort of way.
That's a good
That's
point.
smart.
That's why they don't put their Link in Fortnite and they don't put Samus in Fortnite because they don't want them to hit the gritty and be twerking and things like that. So
He
I'm
makes a good point.
wondering,
That's definitely what
Yeah,
it
It's a
is.
really good point. I
yeah.
mean, I'm looking at my Sonic Ideas set, and I'm trying to remember if there's like a couple. I think they're like mini TVs or something. Or
Sonic may, but Sonic's technically not
oh,
Nintendo.
you're right. Jeez, I'm thinking of
Fortnite
Sonic
had a
being in
TT
Super
bit,
Smash Brothers, and I'm like, oh wait, that's Nintendo. No, it's not Nintendo. I think that's
definitely.
actually a really good point. I never thought of it that
But
way.
and I wonder though, with Animal Crossing, does that boost the price up a little bit? And maybe we could look at
Maybe.
Animal Crossing and Zelda because those are the Nintendo IPs that we have. Oh, and Mario. But they're allotted a certain amount of new molds for every new theme. Like Ninjago gets crazy molds. I'm pretty sure Pokemon will get a certain amount. look at
Yes.
look at Link in his hat and Zelda in her
Yeah.
hair. Like, oh my gosh.
But you
Look all
pay
new
the
stuff.
price. You pay
You
the
Yeah.
do.
Deku Tree, as awesome as it is, perfect set for what it is, but the value is atrocious. And I'm
It's
worried that's going to be the
so
same for Pokemon.
like one of my good friends, his wife, hi Sarah, bought that set. Literally. She finished
Mhm.
building it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh, she finished it.
She did finally finish it, yes,
Nice.
after having it for months. I'm very proud of her for that. She finished building it and it's huge. It looks great, but like
Mhm.
it is not worth $350.
Wait,
I
it's
wouldn't
350. I
spend
thought it was
that.
3.
300,
It was
yeah.
three. Okay,
Okay.
sorry, three.
Still,
And
And
yeah.
that,
Still a
tax.
lot.
and I think so. Here's the thing I want to throw out a question to you guys. Would a Pokemon CMF work if you did recognizable characters from the show and gave their accessory as a specially molded, like small Pokemon piece? Like imagine like an uber detailed Ash with a Pikachu like micro piece, kind of like the Friends animals paired
I
with
was
him.
with you until you said a special Pokemon for each character. I don't think that they'll want to do a special molded Pokemon for each one because CMFs typically now get 12.
But it's a CMF though, so
It is a CMF.
you can do different specialized molds and it won't matter.
All right, let me try to think here.
I'm looking at like the D&D ones, they all basically have one new mold per
Yeah.
figure. So if the figures themselves don't have any new molded parts and they just
Yeah.
use that for instead of a little dog or a little dragon or whatever, have the Pokemon, I think that'd be awesome. I think it would not be great if they didn't have the Pokemon, but if you have the
Like,
companionship Pokemon, it'd be awesome.
I mean, I'm thinking right off the bat, you can do Ash and Pikachu,
Yeah.
Misty and Togepi,
Hmm.
Hmm.
Brock and oh my God, why am I forgetting Brock's
Vulpix.
companion? Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
So
Um,
I just got to 11 different characters for CMF. So like Ash, Brock, Misty, Jesse, James, Nurse Joy, Nurse Jenny, Professor Oak, Gary, Giovanni, maybe Ash's mom, and then a popular gym leader, maybe.
so you
But
can
that's
pick.
that's the problem though, is I don't know if you have that many because that's basically a Pokemon anime CMF, not necessarily because that's the recognizable characters that I don't want to be mean, but like normie audiences will understand.
Oh,
Because
you're
if you're
right.
the
Yeah.
Pokemon fan base, they will go crazy for an Iono minifigure
Oh,
who's this
yeah.
gym leader who's a streamer. She was from Gen 9 and she has crazy cool design. Oh, their trainer designs have gotten so. I'm sorry. I like new gen Pokemon and old gen. I like it all.
Mhm.
But so that's what as like a as a fan you really want to see. But yeah, it would be cool to get the anime minifigures. But what some of them would need a new head mold and a new Pokemon mold. It's just like
All right. Jade, let me counter you with what if they do a collectible minifigure, not a series, but they do it similar to the Unikitty blind bags, and they're all buildable Pokemon. Similar, not exactly like the Pokeballs that Mega did with they would have like just little plastic Pokeballs with the Pokemon inside. But just obviously it's gonna be the boxes, but you could build small versions of Pokemon. Like you could build, let's say, Geodude and Togepi and Pikachu,
I think the
Magikarp.
problem with that is that the Unikitty designs were extraordinarily simplified. They were just like 1x3 bricks, an arch, 1x3, and some plates, and that's all it was.
Hmm.
I really think that the CM, like, if you were to do Ash, a super detailed version of Ash, and then you give him a Pikachu mold that goes with him,
Hmm.
you could recycle that Pikachu mold in sets forever if
Oh,
you
for
wanted
sure.
to. And then you could just do kind of like they did with Wolverine, just put Ash out there again, but a less detailed version of Ash, quote unquote. So you
Hmm.
get the super uber detailed Ash in the CMF. And then in like the regular sets, like maybe he doesn't have dual molded legs or dual molded arms or something like that. And you dial it back a little bit. And I think that's how you're able to sneak in some of those smaller like companion Pokemon. Like you could very easily put like Charmander and Squirtle with Professor Oak and then put Bulbasaur with somebody else. Like you could easily do that. I don't think that
Hmm.
would be bad at all. And I think with some of those Pokemon, like those very like the smaller like companion ones, the starter ones, you're gonna see those as molded pieces and like not Friends animal style, but like that's gonna happen.
That
Like I
scale,
think
yeah.
in that kind of scale of just it's a single piece. It's got a stud and that's it. It's gonna pop right on there.
Yeah. They 100% should do that. Like that would be just a money printer, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, small molded Pokemon animals are sorry, small molded Lego animals are so cool and satisfying. The squirrels, like they're so
Yeah.
that as Pokemon would be crazy. And there's so many third party people that do it. I have like a third party Ash and Waluigi with a tiny little Squirtle. And they, but the thing is like I actually like Cameron Studios' idea of blind bags of buildable Pokemon.
Cool idea.
I just think if they don't do minifigures, they're done for. And I will be disappointed because that's the one thing they have over Mega,
Mhm.
as well as better plastic quality and instructions.
Except for the brittle brown, which I just broke one yesterday.
Still?
I hate
Uh,
build.
It's bad. It was from my Brickheads pack. My where you get to build your own brickheads. I'm designing brickheads and I was using a brown one. I'm trying to get it to separate and it just broke on me.
but that's from like 7 years ago, right? Like 6 years ago.
Eh.
It's an older
Lego's not supposed
Uh,
to break.
that sucks.
Yeah.
It's their phrase. It's Lego doesn't break. Not
It
really.
sucks.
Elmo
It
almost
sucks.
showed up.
But some people say that the trainers are just as important as the Pokemon, and
Agreed.
you see it with Pokemon Masters, the app. The newest TCG expansion is companion Pokemon like okay Hops, Go-Go, or whatever he has, Wooloo. So the problem with doing Ash is Ash is not in the Pokemon games, core
Yeah,
games.
he's not.
He's
He's not.
like Professor Oak is, Team Rocket is, Nurse Joy, all those are. So then I feel like most things are delineated from the Pokemon games, like the TCG is, and and Smash Bros. Stages and stuff like that. So if they're doing Ash, they're doing the anime specifically, and I don't know if that's a problem or not, or if people will eat it up. I guess Mega
I
Constructs
think
did.
he's super recognizable,
Oh
and you'd be
yeah.
kind of if you're gonna do minifigures, you need to have him there
hmm
in some capacity.
I
Yeah, it's
could
like
see them. Oh, go ahead.
oh, well, I'm just thinking of like whenever I go to some farmers market and there's the booth of the third party cheap little minifigs, what are the ones that they always sell that Lego doesn't do? Link, Ash, like those are the ones that Lego should
Right.
actually be making. So definitely.
We have Link now, but
Yeah.
um,
Thankfully, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, thank
thinking of
God.
sets that could do minifigures besides like a battlefield, like I could see them doing like a Pokemon Center, and like that's where you can get your Nurse. Like that could be a set where you can get Nurse Joy, Brock, Misty, and Ash, and then maybe another patron that Ash could potentially battle. Like in the video games where you just walk by someone, they run up to you, let's battle. So like that could be an option. I could see them doing. They could do maybe every 6 months, like they could do a new Pokemon gym, depending how Pokemon starts off. Like they have the opportunity to. I feel like the best thing for Pokemon to do to start is to do buildable Pokemon to draw people in and do a set with minifigures, nothing huge, nothing crazy. But then as time goes on and if Pokemon stays popular, they could start doing the Pokemon Center and then the gyms and then Ash's house. Where like I know Ash isn't in the video games, but if you ask anybody about
Or
Pokemon,
the show
probably
anymore.
80% are gonna say Ash in some form of capacity. Like he might not be on the show anymore, but how long was this 10-year-old kid on our TV screens? Like everybody knows who Ash is if you know Pokemon. Pokemon fans know who Ash is. Non-Pokemon fans know Pikachu, and they might know Ash. So I feel like you can't have a Pokemon theme without Ash or buildable Pokemon.
So I really want to know from each of you, what would your like without any limits, what would your dream set be? Like if like
Oh,
regardless of what you think would
jeez.
actually happen, your dream one Pokemon set, what would that look like that you'd be able to that you would be willing to shell out whatever for?
Well, I told you on our video, Dad, of course, Spear Pillar with Dialga or Palkia or Giratina, first and foremost. Any big buildable legendary, Arceus, like that's one thing Mega Constructs never did was big sets.
The
And
legendaries.
yeah, that's what I'm worried about is are they going to appeal just towards the kids, like with Mario specifically? They want to make it kids based, or we're just thinking from the adult perspective. But yeah, I'd be curious to know what Langster and Cameron's ideal set would be.
Hmm.
So I really like the idea of a buildable Pokedex. I
Mega
Mm-hmm.
did
think
that.
that set would be really interesting.
Mega's done that, and it looks pretty good.
I know, and I think Lego could do it better. but
Oh,
I think mine would be it had to be a Pokemon arena. It had to be a battle arena of some sort so that you'd be able like you'd play this big thing. You'd get a couple trainers, a couple of in my eyes, I would have three trainers with three buildable Pokemon. I would do Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur. Put the three of them. Oh, is it or Ivysaur was the biggest one?
Venusaur.
Venusaur, yeah.
Venusaur was, that's right. Ivysaur was the second one.
Yep.
I would do those three, do like the final evolutions of the original three starters, and then go from there. And then as you go on, you have it so that you have your arena, and maybe you do it, dare I say, like the Hall of Armor, where you can add things onto it as you go and build onto it and add more trainers with more Pokemon. I think that would be a really good idea. Excuse me.
Ooh, they should do they should do Lego Pokemon modular buildings.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Dude,
with
I
like the
could
Pokemon
see
Center,
that
like
though.
with the
Like,
Pokemon
Oh.
Center, with like the Team Rocket's headquarters, stuff like that. But
I could
Burbank
totally see
City.
that.
for my dream set, that's tough for me, just because like probably the first four generations I was really into. Like I would love to see legendaries and their scale. That would be amazing. Like I could see myself buying the Lugia set and just hanging it from the ceiling to make it look like it's flying, or the Ho-Oh, but like being able to do potentially two different colors, like the actual colors of Ho-Oh, and then how we first saw him in the first episode where he was kind of like mostly gold, being in the sun. That's not going to happen, but that'd be a dream. But I just ultimately I want Pokemon to do well, one, because I grew up on it, but two, if Pokemon does well, I feel like that could lead to a potential Super Smash Brothers theme.
Finally,
We're we're
yes.
almost there. I have the lineup.
I was literally gonna bring that up. Like, we
That's all I
have
could think about.
Sonic,
We have
like
Sonic,
we
we
have
have
Sonic, we
Mario
have
potentially.
Mario.
Link,
Isabel, Steve,
They could do it.
it's
Zombie.
possible.
Yeah, I'm lining them up right here. It's gonna happen, but
I mean, you could just imagine like even a me character from the Wii, you could see him being there as a minifigure. Like I feel like if with Pokemon being at Lego's door now, and then they had Zelda, I feel like if they can get their hands and Mario with Nintendo, they have the potential to get all Nintendo's licenses. I don't know how much that would cost, if Nintendo would want to entertain that, but if
I
you
think
do
they
Super
will.
Smash Brothers, you would get amazing play sets.
I
And
think
like people would collect them all to have all the playable characters.
you probably have to do all the themes individually, not a Smash Bros. Theme, because it's hard to even find Smash Bros. Merchandise, like a shirt or
True.
something.
They
There's
don't really
so
even do
much
anything for it.
I don't know why they don't.
legalities. But we also want to know what DanieLewa's dream set would
Yes.
be.
Yes.
Giant Reggie Drago. No. Well, I would just
Oh,
think building off of what JJ was saying, like, okay, you have the arena, especially like the one from Smash. How cool would that be? But
Yeah.
what if they go the extra mile and do something quirky Nintendo and they gamify it where every little Pokemon CMF you get with the little Pokemon comes with a card that has the moves that you can do, and then so kids can
ooh.
get together on the playground and oh, someone's got the arena. I bring my Bulbasaur and I bring my Phalanx. And then here's their attacks. Who's gonna win? And then
That's a good idea.
It is.
gamify the whole thing.
Yeah, I wonder
I
what
can
the
see that.
gimmick. I wonder if there's going to be a gimmick because some of the themes do have a gimmick, some of them don't. So I
And
wonder if there's.
that was kind of the one that I wanted to talk about also was is there going to be a gimmick with this? Because Zelda, thank God, there's been no gimmick besides
But
really
there's only been one
overpriced.
set.
Oh, the
It's
two
only
in
been one
one.
set. Yeah, the two
That
in
Yeah,
one.
the two
worst
in one.
gimmick
That's right.
ever.
That's right. The two in one
But
because
that's good.
so
That's
many
good
extra pieces.
Oh my
because
Um,
Hyrule Castle then could be a 2-in-1. You could do the old Hyrule Castle and you could
no.
do the Breath of the Wild, and it'll be $2,000.
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's possible
Dude, that
because
Death
like,
Star is going to determine if we
oh
get that or
God.
not.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
like Sonic has some like with that button feature you can launch
That's the
Sonic.
Sonic gimmick.
But like
That's the gimmick.
that's not even in every set. Whereas like Mario's always has to have like that character for Mario to jump on, and then Pokemon. I feel like DanieLewa actually hit it right on the nail with them potentially having like cards with it. Like they could have
I'm hesitant about
special.
that.
I'm hesitant too, but like it's an option where if they put in trading cards in it, especially with how actually no, I don't want cards because
No.
the minute Pokemon cards are put into Lego sets, Lego fans are screwed because of
Y'all
how
thought the wolf pack was
insane
bad.
they
Scalpers, yeah.
scalpers are insane with Pokemon just battle packs. Like we have a friend who works at Costco and he tells us how it's a swarm sometimes and they're limited to like one or two. Lego will try and do that, but they
Just
can only do
it's
so much. It's outside the Lego store, Walmart, Target, local
they're not
stores.
gonna care.
They're not going to be care and they're not going to be able to maintain it. And a lot of the cards are just going to disappear
But
along with the
I
sets.
think DanieLewa wasn't necessarily meaning actual Pokemon cards, but if you guys not remember Exopods,
I was
Yeah,
thinking the same.
do you not remember
I
Yeah.
remember those.
Exopods where you
Mhm.
get your pods?
X-Pods. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Exopods, Exo Force pods. But you could literally, oh my gosh, that was the coolest thing. And there was a game to it that wasn't digified. You had to print out like a paper sheet for the game
Mm.
board. But oh my gosh, Daniel was so right because as a kid, when we got our power miners, our neighbor would bring their power miners over and we would throw them on the trampoline and hit them at each other. And
Though,
that's
but Matt, going off of X-Pods, Pokemon, what do? They evolve. If you could brick build,
Ooh.
oh, your Pikachu, and then put some more bricks, it's a Raichu. It's you
Dude,
build your
add some
Ooh.
Charmander,
3-in-1.
Charizard,
That would be so cool. I don't know how
or
they'd be
three
able
in
to
one.
manage it
Yeah.
because some
Ooh, that'd
evolutions
be
look
cool.
so different.
Yeah. That's
yeah,
true.
you have to be particular, but there's 1,025 Pokemon to choose from. Like they can really select which ones they want to do. But one thing I want to ask though is there are a lot of humanoid Pokemon, Machamp, Lopunny,
Oh gosh.
uh,
Mewtwo.
the list goes on.
Ooh.
Do you
He
think
brings
some
up
of
low
these
punny.
Pokemon,
Really?
Really? Yeah.
Mr.
Unbelievable.
Mime, Jinx, will
Machamp. Yeah.
some of them be minifigures
I think so.
Pokemon?
Oh.
I think so.
It could work, honestly. Like Mr. Mime, I don't think could just because he's got like the long, skinny arms, but like some other Pokemon like Machamp or maybe not Machamp. Oh, Machamp they could do
The
with
champ could work.
yeah, they could do it with that one character from Ninjago.
Garbodon. Or Stitch, like the Stitch
Oh
arms.
yeah, they could
Yes.
do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. I think it'll just depend on if Lego goes the route of wanting everything to be minifig scale or if they just kind of take that loosely. Like if Machamp is 2 times taller than Ash and he's the same size as Ash in minifigure form, I don't if they don't kind of care that much about the scaling, it could really work. I don't know if they'd want to set a precedent of making some minifigures and some not, because some obviously can't. But
You're gonna need to get used to seeing
mm,
those gray mixel joints used a lot.
yes,
Ugh.
Just be ready for that. Like it's gonna be there. I know we hate it, but we're gonna have to just kind
who
of deal
said
with
we
it.
hate it? I don't mind them.
I
They're
don't
good
mind.
for the superhero mechs.
So, yeah, but sometimes they stick out like a sore
Oh
thumb
yeah, I
in
wish they had
certain
different
things.
colors, but I think that's just for the integrity of the clip.
Now, here's one thing I kind of want to mention. Obviously, Pokemon has been big with the video games. Do we think there will be some sort of Pokemon Go tie-in? Because that game still is going on.
Yeah,
I
that's
say
the
no,
thing.
Could
There's
that
so
be the
much.
gimmick?
There's so
no.
much Pokemon media that you could pull from. You could make a Stop from Pokemon Go into Lego. You see
Yeah,
crossovers like they did a TCG expansion based on Pokemon Go. They did a TCG expansion based on Detective Pikachu live action. You could,
I would love to see it. See, if they do a big buildable Pikachu, they need to have a little extra build that you can make the detective hat if you want to. Like, give me Detective Pikachu. I would love that. It'd be hilarious.
I don't know.
There's just so much corporate synergy. They could do like any number of the apps, the mobile games, the video game, TCG could all interact or not at all. I don't know.
I feel like there's plenty of media that they can use outside Pokemon Go because if you asked me back when Pokemon Go first came out or a year after, I'd say yeah, it's probably shoo-in going to happen. Now, I think it's less likely because a lot of people have stopped playing Pokemon Go, even the loyal Pokemon Go players. Like I used to be one of them who went after the big crowds were done. Pokemon Go got to the point where it got expensive for stuff that used to be free, that you had to pay for it. There wasn't a whole lot of new stuff to do anymore unless there was like a new Pokemon for the week or for the month. And I feel like Pokemon Go lost a lot of fans initially with the big
Hmm.
drop. They weren't expecting it to be as popular as it was. And then when the loyal fans stuck around, that's when they probably thought, oh, they're loyal. We can charge a little bit. And some stayed, some didn't. So I don't think they'll invest time into Pokemon Go or into Lego to have Pokemon Go, just because it won't draw the crowds like they would need it to be successful.
But they could do like Fortnite and include a code.
Yeah.
Because I got a free skin in Fortnite from the Lego
Yeah,
sets. His skin was a little bit chugly, but they do have mystery codes in the Pokemon game, so they can synergize with Legend
they could do
ZA.
that.
Gen 10, you get a free shiny. They have promotions like that all the time with the Pokemon video games. So I hope there's not any app gimmick. I hope it's all brick built. I
Yes.
hope there are minifigures, and I hope that we get
Oh,
Gigantamax all creamy in Lego form, bro.
So let's go.
Where's Slowpoke?
Oh, he's
Slowpoke.
here.
There he is.
He's over there. He's in the background.
So many iconic ones.
So let's go around the table once, and let's each of us say one thing that we think, one thing that we expect that we're excited for, and one thing we expect that we're a little worried about. And we'll start with Cam.
Ooh, one thing I'm not excited about is we're gonna get the crazy Pokemon fans trying to collect them all like they do with the Pokemon cards or the scalpers. One thing I am excited for is seeing what Lego can do that Mega wasn't able to do with their build techniques and the minifigures. I'm excited for the unknown, but I'm worried about the known scalpers that could just come in, try and buy all the sets, and then sell them online like the cards.
You're worried about the unknown, the Pokemon?
Pun intended.
Okay.
okay. I'm most excited for the compatibility with the rest of the Lego system, like
Mm-hmm.
being able to have your modular street and have your whatever Ash or trainer or your own Sig Fig walking along with his companion Pokemon next to Assembly Square. That's just
Ooh.
awesome. I'm least excited for the prices. Though I just
Yeah.
think they're going to blow them out of the water because of all the new molds, prints, whatever. But people will be willing to shell out for this, and so they
Yes.
can
Yes,
charge
they will.
whatever they want for it.
And that's the thing is why DanieLewa and I dislike Lego Mario so much is it's out of system. It's out of Lego system. Lego's so amazing because you can collab whatever you want. And you can do with the Mario Digifix, you can do, but it's like the furthest theme out of system in the shelves right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit frustrating. So I one hope it's in as in system as possible. Two, number one thing I'm excited about is I like displaying things and IPs that you are into and proud of. That's why I like the Marvel logo. Some people don't like it. It's like, oh, it's just a corporate logo, but I think it represents so much. Pikachu represents so much as an icon. And so even a Pokemon logo, I would love that.
Oh.
Um, so it's cool to buy. I love collaboration. So Lego and Pokemon is just amazing. The one thing I'm not excited about is, guys, I've been to a lot of Pokemon TCG tournaments and I've been to a lot of opening days at a Lego store. And guys, this is not coming from a high horse or
Oh
anything.
no. Oh boy. Here we go.
I'm just
Okay.
saying there's an order to things. You should not wake up and first play video games. You first got to wake up and shower and then play the video games. Okay? You got to wake up, you got to go to work, you got to do these things. I'm not saying all Pokemon fans, I'm not saying all Lego fans. I'm just saying, do I wish it was a little bit more hygienic in both of those areas, a teensy bit, and the Super Smash Bros. Tournaments. But guys, I know we're really excited for our Pokemon on our Legos. Let's prioritize our physical health first, and you'll be feel so much better when building those Lego sets.
Not what I was expecting.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm with him.
Yeah, oh for sure. I mean, JJ, we
Like
sit
I'm
in
with
line
him.
with some strange people and
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
wow.
because I've been to TCG tournaments, and every time I go to a card store, there. I'm not saying that bad things about TCG players at all, because I met some amazing people. But
Mhm.
you're guaranteed every single time at a Pokemon TCG tournament to actually see a plumber's butt crack in one of the seats. It's
Oh
like
my
it's a. I've never
gosh.
not gone to the card store. Maybe it's just my local one, but you'll see one. I'm like, really,
He's
guys?
not wrong. He really isn't wrong.
I'm
Um,
sorry.
I think the two things I'm looking forward, so the one thing I'm looking forward to is larger scaled D2C stuff.
Mhm.
I think we're gonna get minifigures. I think we're gonna get a CMF. Like there's no question in my mind we don't get a CMF. I think I'm more curious as to what are the big ticket sets gonna be. You're like Are we gonna get like a Peely Bone styled set of Ash with Pikachu? Are we gonna get a giant, big buildable Pikachu, kind of like Bricker Builds, but more like the Lego one that they did with Simba? Are we gonna get that? I'm excited for the part usage and some new pieces we might get that might not be linked exclusively to certain Pokemon or certain characters, but parts that could be like, ooh, this is a really interesting new piece, or this is a really new, interesting way of using this piece. What I'm not looking forward to, I think, is a mix of a little kind of what Methuselah was starting to talk about was we all know how crazy the lines can get at the Lego store on release day. Like January 1st
Oh my God.
for Cam and I, there's at least 200 people at our mall lined up, and they're like, oh yeah, they're like lined up in like a circle around this plot, like this little courtyard where the Lego store is. Like there's a lot of people. And if none of those people are Pokemon fans, or not a lot of them are, and now you go January 1st, here's Pokemon sets. Now you're throwing that fan base in too.
So
And
we'll
now
be
they
there
might,
at 4 o'clock, right?
yeah, like there might be some of that mix and match. I am also a little afraid that the crazy psycho scalper, grown men and women running into Costco and having fist fights over Pokemon card boxes is going to start to bleed into this hobby as well. I think Lego's done a great job so far, as best they can, of keeping that out of the hobby. I mean, we all saw the Beastmaster and how popular it was, but that never got remotely close to how bad Pokemon card scalping and collecting has gotten lately, which is sad because in essence, it is a hobby for kids. Lego and Pokemon both are. The fact that little kids can't get their hands on Pokemon cards right now is insanely sad. I'm hoping that doesn't happen here. I don't think it will. If they try to put some sort of collectible card aspect in, I'm afraid that's going to immediately attract those guys in. I think they're going to avoid that. But realistically, it's that and its price. Are these prices going to be astronomically out of control, or are they going to be? I will say this. I don't hate the Animal Crossing pricing. I know they're a little more expensive. I have some, like we have some here at my place. We have collected a couple of them. I enjoy them. I actually think they're pretty good value for what you get. Considering there are larger pieces and larger molds, I'm okay with that. If Pokemon goes down that route with more simplistic styled structures or landscapes with more intricate like creature builds, I'm fine with that. I'm all right. That's cool. But if it ends up being like the new Hall of Armor where it's little to nothing for $55 and there's one little thing pulling you in, done. I'm out. I could care. I'm not. I can't.
Yeah.
The real difficulty is once you're in, how do you keep yourself from not getting everything in the
Exactly.
theme?
Yeah,
And that's why
Especially
Pokemon's kind of
because-
perfect.
You got to catch them all.
And that's why
There
Pokemon's
you
kind of
go.
perfect thing
Yeah.
because they're never going to run out of ideas.
No.
Like, and they're never going to, like, they'll probably recycle some things over time, but like, I don't see them like, oh, we have to make another new, we don't have new content to make things off of. Yes, you do.
They
They're
have
never
plenty
going
to make off of, but I think we can all agree on Pikachu is going to be the Luke's land speeder of Pokemon.
Yeah. 100%.
Which is fine because Pikachu is the most well-known character. And I
Correct.
feel like we'll get different enough sets where it's not like they're going to do a Pikachu and then 3 years later do another Pikachu the exact same build just with different colors. That's not going to happen. There's not going to be newer pieces to make it better, I think.
it's kind of like the Fortnite minifigures and the Animal Crossing minifigures where they're literally all so perfect, but you don't want to. I'd be disappointed in a new set if a duplicate minifigure was there. I'd be like, dang it. But I hope all the Pokemon fans enjoy it, and I don't really think it's going to be a big scalping debacle. I could be wrong, but the TCG
I
is
hope
just
you're right. I hope
yeah,
you're right.
TCG is a whole thing that's gone way too crazy with a bunch of influencers and crazy stuff. But I think Lego's going to be a little bit more tame. I hope a lot of Lego fans get to Pokemon, and a lot of Pokemon fans get to Lego, and they can enjoy both, which are amazing IPs.
Agreed.
100%.
Does anybody have any final thoughts they'd like to say before we sign off?
Let's just say a quick prayer to Primus and to Sun Wukong that this is gonna be peak, bro. We need Lego One Piece ASAP, bro. We need pictures for it.
Oh,
I'm on
Well,
episode
you're not going to get it
600.
today because as the time of this recording, it is April Fool's Day, and I'm not believing anything I see online right now.
That's true. They were leaking that there's an 18 plus Zelda set coming next year. So
No, that's
That one's
probably
confirmed,
real.
actually.
That's probably
Really?
real. Yeah,
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
that's
It's,
real.
it's going to be a buildable Great Fairy at this point. Like,
That one's
yay.
real.
Okay.
Or it'll be a giant buildable Master Sword. Actually,
Yeah.
I'd buy that if they made
Ooh.
that. I'm not gonna lie.
Ah,
That'd be kind of sick.
that
if
would
they
would
be
did
be pretty sick.
cool. Yeah.
Zelda book nook, Zelda logo.
Not
Yeah,
the
right.
book nook.
Zelda
No.
logo.
Jeez.
Dude,
Most
can you imagine
underserved
that?
theme. Oh my gosh.
One
But
set. Is that before we wrap up, is that the first theme ever to get its own page on the Lego website and have
Yeah.
one singular set for
It is.
It has
It
to be,
is.
and I
Yeah.
feel like more is coming. Like it does make sense for them to make its own. They could have just kept it under icons, but no, they have it as its own theme. But
yeah.
that's a topic
Something's
for
up with that.
another episode.
Let's buy all the Nintendo sets because if they see it does well, we could get Metroid, Star Fox,
Oh,
But
Mr.
I
Game and
need
Watch.
Falco Lombardi so bad. in
That'd be
my
so
fucking-
sick.
I gotta
If
buy
you-
every single Marvel set first.
Guys, if you could take away one thing from this video, it is we need to campaign for Cameron Studios to not buy the Endgame Portal
I
set.
told you I'm gonna wait for a discount.
Hashtag campaign streams.
That has nothing to do with anything today. That never came up.
That's all right.
oh my god.
Well, now that we've totally got off the rails, thank you all for watching. If you have not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel and please leave a like. It does mean a lot to us. Hit the notification bell so you're notified when all new episodes go live. Matt and Daniel, thank you so much for coming on again. You guys are the best. Would you like to plug your channel or everybody can find you guys?
Please go to our Instagram at Sakuga Builds and enter our Ninjago giveaway because nobody's entering it, bro. I thought these sets were somewhat desirable.
I got a chance to win this now. That's all that means.
It'll be an honest raffle.
I
It'll be
should
randomized.
enter it just to take it away from JJ, like I took away Giant Man from him.
Cam, don't do that to me again.
But no, we freaking love the Brick Hard podcast, and they're just, man, always a I wish I could be on a call with Langster Builds every day. And you need to do some audio recordings to help put me to sleep. That's besides the point. It's at Sakuga Builds on YouTube. Thank you so much. You guys are the freaking best guys ever met. Wow.
Thanks for having us on, guys.
I guess I'm chopped liver now, JJ.
Yeah, right. Speaking of Instagram, you can also find our Instagram in the description below, along with my Instagram, Langster Builds. You can follow along the progress of this absolute behemoth. We will see everybody next week in the next episode. Have a great night. Happy building.
Cam hates dreams.